My name is Richard Gegenwath, and I'm the chairman of the Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee for the town of Yarmouth. I will begin by taking a roll call to make sure we have a quorum. Bob Wilkins,
I'm here.
Rosemary Nichols,
Here.
Paula Morrison,
Here.
and myself, Richard Gegenwath, here. So we have a quorum of 4. We only need 3. So having a quorum present, I'll ask the moderator to explain how the remote participation will work before we start on the items. We have 6 items on the agenda plus 3 tabled from our last meeting. So it'll take a while tonight.
Thanks, Richard.
Please.
The March 22nd, 2021 meeting of the Yarmouth Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee is about to convene. As a precautionary measure to reduce the spread of the coronavirus, this meeting will be held by remote participation. My name is Grace Rogers, and I'm the Office Administrator for the Old Kings Highway. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, this meeting of the Yarmouth Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access and participate in the proceedings as provided for in the order. Persons who would like to view this meeting while in progress may do so by joining this virtual meeting as an attendee. You may also listen to the meeting by dialing into the number provided on the notice of meeting. The meeting will also be posted on the Town of Yarmouth YouTube channel for future viewing. Please be patient as we work to overcome any and all technological challenges with the virtual meeting. For all meetings, all audience participants enter the virtual meeting muted. Participants will be unmuted when called upon to speak by the chair or moderator. If you are not speaking, please mute yourself to avoid unnecessary background noise. Clearly state your name each and every time prior to speaking. Do not use speakerphone or Bluetooth devices when speaking. All votes must be roll call votes. After a motion is made and second, the chair will ask for a roll call vote. For applicants and presenters, applicants can use the raise hand button or press *9 on their phone to identify themselves to the chair. The moderator will unmute applicants when they are called upon to speak during their portion of the agenda. Applicants shall identify themselves by first and last name and affiliation for the record. Presentations provided by the applicant will be displayed by the moderator only if asked to do so. If it appears the meeting cannot or should not proceed, then a moderator will recommend to the chair to request to continue the hearing to a later date and time. Public comment. During the portions of the hearing designated for public comment, the chair will ask if anyone in the audience has any questions or comments relating to the item being heard. Members of the public may request to speak by selecting the raise hand button or *9 on their phone and waiting for the chair to call upon them to speak. Members of the public recognized by the chair are asked to identify themselves by first and last name and affiliation for the public record, and then provide their comment. I'm now handing the meeting back to the chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. As I mentioned before, there are 6 new items for applications of certificate of appropriateness, and they will be listened to, heard in the order that they were on the agenda. There will also be 3 that were tabled at the previous meeting. Please be reminded that our committee's main purpose is to review items for appropriateness and setting, and it's the responsibility of the applicant to comply with the regulations of other town boards and departments, including building, conservation, engineering, health, zoning, and the sign inspector. You should also know that there is a 10 calendar day appeal period starting once a decision is filed with the town clerk. Any person aggrieved by our decision tonight can appeal to the Regional Commission of the Old Kings Highway. Our office administrator will be happy to answer any questions you have with respect to that process. So the first item tonight would be concerned with replacing a deck and installing an outdoor shower at 32 Mariners Lane. Arlene Bresner is the homeowner and George Davis is the agent for George Davis Incorporated. And I suspect George would be here tonight. Do we have a hand raised for George? Bresner. And George. Good.
Hi, George Davis, I'm here.
Fine, George. Good to have you again.
Thank you. I guess my face isn't coming up on the video. I'm not quite sure why, but I probably have something shut off. But at any rate, but can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, I'm George Davis. I'm here on behalf of my clients, Enid Bresner and Linda McKenna, who I believe are also here. And we're seeking to replace an existing deck and make it larger and build an outdoor shower and with a hot tub. I provided you with the plans, and I think they're pretty self-evident. And I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
That's good layout. We had a couple of pictures of the back of the house would be appropriate. Yeah, right. The hot tub would be in the region over toward the door to the garage.
That's correct.
On the lower level there. And the shower is like right behind it.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
It shows up nicely there. Very, very nice rendering.
Thank you.
Perfect. And then we screened in underneath the deck.
That's correct.
Great. Okay, any other questions from our members?
Are there any abutters present to this project? I move to approve.
I'll second Paula.
Okay. All those in favor of this? I'll run down. Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paul Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Gagan-Roth, aye. And George found the right, clicked on the right button.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you very much. I hope you all have a pleasant evening.
thank you.
True.
You too. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
The next item is concerned with installing a fence at 444 Route 6A. The homeowner is Jamie Pastiglione, and Cape Cod Fence Company is the agent. So I'm not sure if Jamie would be here tonight or Cape Cod Fence is a representative. Jimmy is here. Now, this is an extensive fence because there's a long property line.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi. So I'm not sure, is there a question that you have for me? I don't know if anybody from Cape Cod Fence has joined this call.
well, we'll put up a picture or two that we have in the file.
I don't see anybody from Cape Cod Fence unless there's a specific name that you know, Jamie, that I could put up.
Okay.
Good, okay. There's an existing fence that shows up on this diagram in the corner of the property there. And then it's like, I can read it correctly, it's like 260 feet coming forward towards 6A. The house is set way back. It's a long driveway. And I had a question on this as to how far it's coming forward towards 6A. The diagram doesn't really tell us that.
So I can answer that question for you. So my property is actually, my address is 444 Route 6A, but my house is not seen from the road. There's actually a property in front of me, which is the old Blueberry Manor. So I have a long driveway that extends back and you cannot see my property at all. So you actually will not see the fence from Route 6A. And the fence actually is 160 feet, which will be tied into the fence in my backyard that was there existing, the exact same fence. So even though my property resides on 6A, there is a property in front of me and
Right.
the fence is only on my property.
Right. Okay. Good. That clarifies it very much. So, and it'll be in figure 4, we're showing the fence proposed, which is a cedar board fence with nice capitals. It's a good looking fence.
Very good.
Mhm.
And those are just pictures that you're seeing there of the area that I drew where the fence will be running along my property line. And it will be running along my property line, and the house that you're seeing in the back picture there is the house on Center Street.
Center Street, right. Yeah. Hopefully they won't get any more boats stacked on top of the ones they already have.
I hope so.
It's hard to stop once you start.
Once you get one boat, you want another, huh?
Well, having been my first time through this process, I tried to be more thorough than not. So I appreciate you sharing these photos.
Mhm. I move to approve.
Could we ask if there are any abutters present first? No? Okay, go ahead, Rosemary.
I move to approve as submitted.
I'll second.
Okay. So all those,
Someone is raising their hand. Sorry, I couldn't unmute in time. Even though it's been moved upon.
someone raised their hand?
Yeah, sorry about that. It's sometimes difficult to move between the 3 windows I have open.
Is Mary an abutter?
She rose her hand. I'm not sure if she is or if it was a mistake.
So Mary Joyce is my
Hi.
neighbor on Center Street.
I am the abutter, yes. I'm the house with the boats,
Okay.
kayaks. And
So
another,
what do you think, Mary? The fence is a good looking fence.
it's going to be a very attractive fence, I believe, and it will run the entire length of our, or almost the entire length of our property that is our backyard up to Jamie's. My question, I have a question. So we're not, we are in favor of the fence. We're not disputing that. The fence will be on her property. And so there will be some trees along the property that is on her side of the property line, but will be on our side of the fence. And we're just, there's one tree in particular that Jamie and I personally have already discussed that's choke cherry and dead. And we were hoping that one would be removed. She has told us verbally that she will remove it. We took down the as much of that tree on our property line as we could. That's the only, my concern is when trees are on our side of her fence, but on her property, what recourse do we have if we were concerned about something?
You're entitled to cut anything that's vertically over on your property.
Which we've done in the past year, we've done that.
Yeah, you can continue to do that. Anything that grows along, my understanding of the law is anything that grows in a vertical plane on your side of the property line is
Right.
something you're entitled to trim.
My question is, once there is this beautiful fence where she doesn't have to look at the trees that are on her property, that we are not legally okay to touch. I'm not disputing her fence. I'm just asking the question here since it's an opportunity to ask. Do I go to some other place in the town?
What is it you want to do?
Yeah, I'm lost in the question.
Well, Jamie and I have an understanding that she will take down this one dead tree
Right,
that wasn't originally marked for removal in order to put the fence up.
I see. So you want that to come down.
And Jamie and I have agreed on it, and I'm trusting that that's going to happen.
oh, yeah,
I'm just sharing that with you now, but to say, once there's this beautiful fence and there are continuing to be trees, should there be a problem with a tree that's on her property and not overhanging our property, but is up against a fence where she doesn't see it? So am I stuck?
If you
Well, it
have-
sounds like you have a good relationship with your neighbors, so I like the idea that you trust that relationship.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
until I can't, I do, yes.
right. Well, it doesn't really fall within our purview, I'm sorry to say, so.
Yeah.
I
Is
guess,
there, do you know, is there a purview there that it would, is my question, I guess.
The court would settle any dispute you have.
Okay. That's fine.
It
But
does,
we are totally in favor of her installing a fence, and it is going to be a beautiful fence. It's just it's a challenge to do the property line because of all our trees.
good.
It's all good.
so this tree is dead.
Yes. You can
and-
see it. It's in the picture number 6.
Okay, is Jamie still with us?
I'm still with you, yes.
So what are your thoughts here, Jamie?
My thoughts are, I had spoken to Mary and I had spoken to Hallbrook, the tree service of actually it's called Johnson Tree Service. He actually purchased Hallbrook and he has agreed that he will take that down. So it's not even a point of an issue or contention. The tree is dead. He didn't mark it at the time because it wasn't completely in the line of a straight fence. But if that was an issue of contention, which I discussed with him after speaking with Mary, he absolutely agreed to take that down. So it's not an issue.
Yeah, good.
All right,
so I
Good.
think I have a motion and a second.
Okay, yes,
There
so,
may be,
oh,
I don't know if you have another abutter. One of our neighbors called us to find out how to get online. So I don't know if there's another abutter online. There's no way to tell.
I have a 0473 ending of a phone number with their hand raised. It's been raised for a while, so I'll promote them. All right.
Grace, am I there?
Yes.
Grace, I'm sorry. Yeah, I goofed earlier. This is Steve Kelly for Sunrun.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
one of the tabled items. So
Yeah, no
I'll mute
worries.
myself back up, but
okay.
that's me. Thank you.
All right, good to know. Thank you.
Okay, so all those in favor? Paul Morrison,
aye,
Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
myself, Richard Giggenworth, aye. So we all favor it and would like to see it when it's unfinished.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate your time this evening.
You're very welcome. Have a good evening. The next item is concerned with replacing windows at 16 Dutchland Drive. Dan Millville is the owner. Renewal by Anderson is the agent. So hopefully Dan made it tonight. He wasn't able to make it at the last meeting.
Looks like he needs to be unmuted.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, yes, my name is Kevin Damaris. I'm just waiting for Dan to come on. I'm the one who helped him with the windows, and I'm just here to answer any aesthetic questions or questions about the windows. But I think Dan's gonna have some questions for you guys.
Okay.
Dan, if you could unmute yourself. I don't know if you can see the button. It should be in the lower left
Lower left.
corner of your screen.
They're texting me right now. They're struggling to unmute.
If you have a full screen and you minimize it, you'll be able to see the unmute button easier. It should be the microphone in the corner, the left-hand corner of your screen. Sometimes if the image is maximized, you won't be able to see all the buttons.
Let me just call them real quick.
Okay.
See, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you for coming. So as I recall, there's something like 9 windows,
Yes, sir.
and there's like 4 on the front of the house. We'll show some items from the file. Here we go. Yeah, there's 2 on that side. And the third one,
That's in the back.
He has better pictures. Kevin took better pictures.
Yeah, and I do have more updated pictures for you guys if you would like something that was actually taken during the daytime, as well as I do have the actual view from the street, so you know what's actually visible from the road. I just did a 360-degree shot so you could at least see all of the products that were getting replaced.
okay. Yeah, as it stands right now, there are no grills in the windows.
Correct. And there were never any grids originally. These are original wood windows.
When we bought the house 21 years ago, there was no grids. We've owned it for 21 years and they're the same windows.
It's hard to believe because I've been on the committee for over 25 years. And as the houses were being built over in that area, we're very insistent that new houses, this was built around 1990, I think, 92 or something like that, that all the houses would have grills in them. And what the problem was that at that time, they didn't have grills between the glass. And so somebody was cleaning their windows and they took the grills out and broke them. They would disappear one after the other. So
Richard, if I could actually chime in for one thing, in order to actually have those grids lock into place, you would have to have plastic fasteners actually in the window that are actually into the sash. So you would be able to tell if those products actually originally had grids if they had those indents where the grid patterns would be. These windows do not have that.
Well, I'll tell you something. The windows in my house on North Dennis Road, you would not know either because they had little sharp metal things that slid on the cross piece and dug into the wood on the side. They were Anderson windows. And you could take the grills out and there'd be no mark there at all. It didn't have anything
Yes, this would be a different technology, though. This is not an Anderson window.
These weren't.
No.
Yeah, okay. Yep, could well be. Well, it's very surprised, and if you walk around the neighborhood over there, you'll find that about half the houses do have grills, and half don't.
Yeah,
exactly.
If I can interject, there's 21 windows. I went around the entire neighborhood. There's 21 houses with no grids, and there's 14 houses that have grids. There's 21 houses that have,
Yeah,
that do not.
I didn't
enforce.
count them. I just went driving down the street and count, so, well, there's one.
And the other thing too, if you actually look at if you want to make me a co-host and I can actually share some newer images from you, the only images or the only windows you can actually see that aren't truly obstructed by something, either a tree or a bush from the road, are just those two front windows. And to hold a grid application to the entire house just because really two windows are visible from the curb just seems a little intense, considering the additional expense that's now involved with putting those grids in the windows.
What's the vintage of this house?
It was around
1989.
It may show on the first sheet.
And in your estimation, it never had grills originally. Is that what you're saying?
Never. In fact, if I can share my screen, which I can real quick, give me 1 second. Can you guys see my screen?
I didn't know.
No.
Something up.
Actually, it's not letting me do it as an option. Is there any way you could make me a co-host so I can share my screen?
I did make you a co-host. I don't know why.
Let's see if I can pull them up.
Yeah, we're seeing the renewal by Anderson.
Yeah, that's just my because I was logged out of my screen. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, it's the share button is not allowing me to mirror my screen for you guys, so I can't display the updated images. But like I was saying, there's only those two windows that are mulled together that are actually visible from the curb. Everything else is partly obstructed by either a bush or trees.
Right. We have a problem with trees in general, because what happens is, for example, we have two items here tonight relative to solar panels. And a house may have solar panel. They may want to put up solar panels, and they'll have some trees there already, and it looks very nice. And a year after they put the solar panels on, the trees disappear. And suddenly the whole front of the house, or the side or the back, is visible from all the neighbors' houses and from down the street. And we have no control when somebody cuts down the trees. Now suddenly we see the whole thing. So it may be invisible right now, but they could sell a house next year, and the new homeowners say, all the shrubbery is too close to the house. It's not letting the house breathe. It's getting moisture and mold all over it. We're going to cut them down, and suddenly everything's visible. So
sure, that could be a potential case, but it still goes back to the original fact that this house never had grids in it.
yeah.
And the preponderance of houses in the immediate neighborhood don't have grills either, correct?
Most of them don't. In fact, there's even one house that had recent windows installed that actually has a prairie style grid pattern, which is something you'd see in the Midwest, which is very strange for this area.
Right, I saw that. Yeah.
Is there a picture of the actual window you're putting in?
Can do you? Yeah. So the window is actually right here next to me in my house. It's a through and through composite window. It's Anderson's permanent solution, and it's made to look exactly like a wood window. but have absolutely zero maintenance. So this isn't even available to the public because Anderson has to associate 2 lifetime guarantees with its install. This is the only product that'll actually have that kind of longevity. So
that
that's
has-
why.
That has grids. Are the ones
Yeah,
you're putting in?
No, the ones that we're putting in will not have grids. This has grids in it because this is an example to show customers either with or without, because I obviously have to carry this in my car. It's heavy. I'm not going to carry 2 windows. So,
All right.
but this is the actual product itself. It's even more real look. It looks more like a traditional wood window than, say, even an A series or an Anderson 400 series window would.
Yeah. Good.
Are there any abutters to this property present?
No one is raising their hand.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
and myself abstain. So 3 has it. Approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Kev, thanks for coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night. So the next item is concerned with a few things. Extending a porch wall, removing a door, removing and replacing siding, and installing windows at 82 Center Street. Laura Maruzzi is the owner, and hopefully she is here this evening. She is. Good. We're not hearing you. Doesn't
No.
look like she's muted.
You're unmuted too.
Maybe you have to turn your volume up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We can hear you now.
Great.
Yes, hi, I'm Laura Maruzzi. I'm the homeowner of 82 Center Street. I'm interested in renovating my kitchen, which is very dated from when the house was originally built back in 1965. We provided plans. I haven't hired a contractor yet because I wanted to see if what I envision I can do via Old Kings Highway. But I would like to bump out the kitchen wall that over the farmer's porch
It
between
shows up in that picture 4 very well, I think.
Yes, that's the wall I would like to bump out. Remove the door because there are several doors to enter this house, and there's one extra door I really don't need. Replace that window and side with the cedar shingles.
Okay.
Mhm.
So hopefully the chimney doesn't get in the way.
The
Yeah.
chimney, we're gonna do the thought process right now is to go around the chimney because I use the chimney, so I don't want to lose it.
Sure, of course. Okay, so it would basically come up right to the chimney there.
Correct. It's just not to the end of the garage, but just to the end of the roof line, basically.
And you won't have to do anything to the roof.
That was my question too. So, so what happens to the plane of the roof when you bump this out?
Nothing. Just
Nothing.
It's going to be kind of,
It would be just like the front of the house.
Yeah,
Correct.
the piece of trim will maybe be reduced because
doesn't that bring the front edge of the roof very low with respect to the new elevation, the new front elevation? If you continue that plane of the roof forward?
it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't come forward.
No,
What's being bumped out?
The wall.
but
Yeah,
just the wall.
You're removing this whole wall, which is the door plus the window, and putting a new wall about 2 feet further forward.
Right, which extends the roof line, correct?
No,
No.
No.
falling
I-
down.
Bob, do you see the fascia board that's under the roof line?
Yeah.
That's where it's going to come out to.
Oh, okay. So the roof already extends the 2 feet.
Right, the
Exactly.
roof is over the porch.
Okay, all right.
Correct.
I just had one question. It looks like you're going to lose the interior door between the garage and the kitchen.
No, they move it.
We're gonna move it.
Oh, you're moving it. Okay,
It
I'm
shows
keeping
up
that.
nicely in the floor plan.
yeah, okay.
If you go to, I think it's 6.
My 89-year-old mother and I moved here during COVID, so we're now permanent residents, and this kitchen is perfect for a summer home, but not good for functionality.
Yeah, here you can see very nice. On the left, the little porch kind of entry area, covered entry is there.
Right,
That will disappear as you see on the right. And the door accessing the garage will be shifted to the left, more forward of the house.
Correct.
There'd still be a room for a pantry there next to the door. So it improves the whole flow pattern inside, and it gives you a center island and opens up a little more into the dining area.
Correct.
So
very nice.
that'll be a big help.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Very good. Okay, so all those in favor? Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
myself, Richard Gegenwath, aye. Good.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. It's nice to meet you
Welcome.
all.
Good
Thank
luck
you.
with it all. Hope it goes smoothly.
I gotta find a contractor now.
Okay, good. Good luck with that. All right, so next item is to remove a front deck, entryway expansion with a new door, installation of a new window at 4 Stratford Lane. Karen and Robert Oxon are the owners, and Sandollar Customs is the agent. So let's see who we have now. We still have 20 participants. So Robert is here. And Bob Warren must be for Sandollar Customs.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Robert? Or Bob? Rob Warren.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes, we can. We'll dig out the file for a second. And that's the first page. Now, what's the best picture to go to? I think that one, shows the front of the house. And we're dealing with kind of the breezeway area. Is that right?
Correct. The breezeway between the garage and the main house.
Right.
The idea is to change the roof line and to bring that front wall of the breezeway out so it's parallel with the main house and the garage.
Okay. Is there a drawing for the finished product? Might be 7.
It should be.
Right. Okay, so the roof, it's got to be extended. So I guess the it'll have How are you going to do that? Is it going to have one roof merging into the other? Or
Yeah,
is-
it'll be kind of the pitch of the roof will obviously change. It'll be a shed, almost like a shed type roof.
attached to this roof, or will it be a whole new roof?
New roof. The roof will go over the existing roof.
Okay,
The pitch will change, but it'll come all the way so it's flush with the main house and the garage.
okay. The trim, if the siding is going to come all the way to the front, then you probably have to leave the corner boards on for the house and garage.
That those corner boards should disappear on the garage and on the house. And now that'll, the clapboard will come right across. And then that will be, then there'll be a door right there.
Yeah, where it shows a window on the existing house, that was a door there before.
Correct. Now
Right.
that's going to be, that'll become a window.
Okay, so the clapboard was there. I'm just concerned with how it's trimmed out so that it looks right. And how the roofs come together. Because the garage roof and the
There'll still be a valley there.
valley over to the garage.
Correct. And then, on the house side, it'll just, where the breezeway attaches to a house, it'll,
So the house, the facade, the front facade of the house and the garage are on the same plane, and you want to bring this breezeway to that plane, correct?
correct. And then obviously the soffit fascia, that'll extend beyond, but that'll be, it'll line up with the soffit of the main house.
What if you were to step it back a little bit, just so that you get, I'm listening to Richard's.
Yeah, I think the drawing isn't very accurate, I think. You have the vertical boards and they're going up a lot further than the top of the door. And what's above there should be shingles.
Yeah, that's,
And the shingles should come down to where the garage roof comes.
yeah, I know what you're saying. So that where it says existing, and then you have, it looks, that should be shown roof, but that's actually shown framing for the building department.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that would, where it says existing roof, that would come right down to right above the door there where,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're looking at here above the door would actually be hidden by the roof.
Yeah, the shingles would be.
that picture just shows framing of the addition. But that in reality would be all shingled roof.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, because it would look ridiculous otherwise. Are there any other figures that may clarify things there? I don't recall seeing anything else. And the door that you're going to put there would be this one that's shown as 6 light.
Correct.
That's good.
And the siding's gonna be this vertical sort of bond-board look.
No, that's gonna be all clapboard.
No, it'll be
Clapboard, all right. All right.
Yeah, you're looking at a framing plan for building department.
Framing. Yeah, okay, so you're gonna cover the framing.
I still would be careful about getting rid of the corner boards
Oh, come on.
because, you know, your eye expects where the existing roof comes down on the house, that the siding ends there and it ends with a corner board. And the same thing happens when you're envisioning what happens on the other side with the garage. You really expect that there's going to be a board there.
Yeah.
So, you know, if there's white trim now, there should be a white trim corner board on both of those.
I think it would resolve successfully along the lines of what Richard is saying. If you step back, well, I'm talking just a matter of maybe
6 inches.
4 to 6 inches.
Yeah.
So that you can have a wraparound corner board. You've got some definition on the side of the house, on the side of the garage. Then you have your clapboards on the new breezeway front elevation, butting up against the back edges of those corner boards.
Yeah.
I think that would be a nice, a more visually successful way of dealing with it.
Definitely.
This is Bob Proxon. Can I speak? Am I unmuted?
No, we can hear you.
Oh.
Okay, so it is stepped back from the house. The distance from the existing wall to the front of the house, the main body of the house, is 13 feet. This addition is only coming out 9 feet.
Oh, okay.
But the garage is set back as well. So it will be up against, it will line up with the garage side, but not the house side. It's going to be 3 feet, almost 4 feet back from the face of the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, that solves the problem on the house side successfully, but what about stepping it back 4 to 6 inches on the garage side so you get the same visual effect that you get on the house side?
Definitely.
Well, I don't have any problem with leaving the fascia board on the garage and having this, you know, that's fine.
Okay, that would work.
I don't mind the look at all.
Yeah, that would work.
Are you talking just one half of the corner board or the full corner board?
Yeah. Just
Just face of it would be left as trim
On both sides of the corner?
on the garage.
On both sides of that corner?
No, only the front face of the corner would be left, I think.
I think it
Full
should
nine,
wrap around.
to the front of the garage.
I think it would be better if it were to wrap around, and the front facade of the breezeway is recessed with respect to the front facade of the garage by that 4 to 6 inches, 6 inches, let's say.
That's fine. We can make that work.
Good.
Yeah, whatever the depth of the corner board is, 4 inches, 5 inches?
4 inches.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going to be gaining several feet. So to be missing 4 inches, not a big deal, I wouldn't think.
No.
Okay.
Are there any abutters present to this project?
Okay, then in the minutes of the meeting, when they're written up, it'll include the fact that we're going to adjust the depth question by having a corner board as existing on the house and on the garage and fit the new addition in between.
Does that have to be presented as an amendment to the application?
It would be needed.
Mr. Chairman, should that
Yeah,
be presented as an
you know,
amendment?
it wasn't very clear what they were going to do. It would have helped, I think, if we had a floor plan for this section, but it didn't exist. So when I went through all of this a few days ago, I was confused as to how it was going to be. Now we've clarified it, and it's in the minutes of the meeting, so it's well defined.
Okay, I just have one last question about the peak of the breezeway. Is that the same height? Is that going to be the same height as it currently is?
Peak should be the same height, just the pitch change.
So how different is the pitch going to wind up being?
It's about half. It's probably about half, don't you think? If it's got a
Yeah, I don't have that in front of me.
it'll go like from 6 to 3.
So you're gonna have three different roof pitches: the house pitch, the garage pitch, and the breezeway pitch are all different.
Yeah, well, here you go. See, it's not going to vary that much.
Right.
No, it's gonna come out to be just under those double windows up on top.
Yeah.
And then come out to the 9 feet, extend the 9 feet out to the front.
Yeah, and you can see on the lower picture where it comes up to the upper window.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably about a 7 or 8 inch pitch, and it'll go to about half that.
And the current pitch isn't parallel to the current pitch of the main house anyway.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. So we're not
About 12.
disturbing that.
Good.
Okay.
All righty. So we have a motion on this?
I would move to approve with the amendments we just discussed.
I'll second that.
Yeah, keeping the 4-inch corner board.
Good, okay. So all in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
myself, Richard Kagowath, aye. So, to Roberts, good luck with it. And
Thank you.
we'll,
Sorry for any confusion there on the plan.
good,
We got past it.
great.
First step.
Yep.
Good.
Thank you.
Get on.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Good weather. All right. Next item is concerned with solar panels. It says here, install 29 rooftop solar panels at 28 Macumba Drive, Alden, Aiden. Aiden Donahue is the owner. Jason Patry is the agent. And this is with Trinity Solar. And they'll be installing about a little less than 10 kilowatts.
Hi, can you guys hear me now?
Okay, Jason.
Hi, yes, Jason Petrie here on behalf of Trinity Solar and Aiden Donahoe for the solar project at 28 Maycomber. Not sure what happened there. Just as you were about to call on me, it shut down, and then just said rejoining. So
Good.
glad I'm back in time.
Yeah, these are tricky things.
Oh, sure. I waited an hour for this. I need to work. I guess we want to share my screen here. Okay, you've got it.
Yeah, 9.86 kilowatts.
Yes, sir.
And the house is not far from me.
Oh, so you drive by it on a regular basis, I suppose.
Well, I live on Merchant Avenue.
Oh, right around the corner.
Crow flies, it's probably about 400 yards or less.
Nice. So I'm sure you reviewed these. You've got the front view on the left. And
Right. And the solar panels would be on the right
Yes, sir.
and it's got pretty good directionality in the sense that that roof heads south pretty good.
Yeah, it's about due south.
We get very few of them.
Yeah, this was the lucky one, I suppose.
Yeah. And not only that, but because of the wall coming forward for privacy on the deck,
Yep.
it also gives you privacy from seeing the solar panels.
Yeah, there's a little aspect there, yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost made to order. So how many are up on that roof?
Let's see. That roof has, let's see, 11.
It's about 20. This is 29 in total. The other roof is a smaller one, I think. Does that show, do we have a top view?
Yeah, should be in there for you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, good, okay. So the solar panels on the right side are the ones we were just talking about. The front of the house is on the lower part of the picture.
Yeah, there's 18 panels on that one.
Yeah, and the remainder are hidden by the ridge line on the front of the house. So they're pretty invisible as far as driving down the street. And these are so-called power optimizing. What does that mean? They turn off and on depending on the shadows
Exactly, yes.
for 345 watts per unit.
Correct.
Good.
Yeah, they've come a long ways.
Do they come with higher wattages nowadays?
For a residential panel, a 60 cell, that's almost as high as it gets
Uh-huh.
currently, of course.
Yeah, in your literature, you had some others, I think, but they were 72
Or some 72 cell, yeah, commercial size.
cells.
Those would barely be on a customer's home.
Good. Any other questions?
So
Dean?
these would not, any of them be visible from a public way, correct?
Right.
Are there any abutters present?
Let me look. There's one hand raised. They lowered their hand.
Okay.
So these are all completely visible from the road that the house is on, but there's nothing really in front of it. Further down is the water. The only abutter that I would be interested in hearing from is the guy across the street, if he's here, but he's the only one that would really be able to see them. But they're clearly visible. But you've only got one abutter to be concerned with, so I don't know
Yeah.
where that leaves us. If
So
he's
the
not,
answer to my question is that they are visible from a public way.
yes,
I think
completely.
I was just told that they were not. So thank you for that, Paula.
No, they're completely visible, but again, there's only one person that would be offended by them. And you said somebody was there and raised their hand and put their hand down?
They have raised their hand. I did promote them. The 15087.
Okay, okay.
You could unmute to speak. *9 if you're on a phone, and then bottom left-hand corner microphone if you're on a computer.
Well, while we're waiting, in response to what you said, Paula, the current owner of the house across the street may or may not have an objection, but as has been pointed out with previous applications, houses have a way of changing hands. So, and the panels are likely to be permanent. So
Yes,
that,
I mean, they are just completely visible.
Yes,
Yes.
they are.
Can we
Yes,
put the file up again?
Mhm.
Okay, is there a street plan? The neighboring
Yes,
houses and stuff?
should be included in there.
No,
Up near the top. Ah, there you go.
No.
Number 6.
yeah, that's it. Number 3.
Oh, you
Well,
want
if
to
you
go,
blow that up,
go down 2 more. Go to number 6. There you go.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of trees here.
Yeah, and the property line, if you were to go back to the other plan view, it outlines the property line. It's quite a ways down. I don't know if it makes any difference if there was like a way you might do it with a contingency where, you know, some trees would have to stay. I mean, there's certainly some blockage. I can't be 100% clear from the perspectives that I have as to the visibility. I imagine maybe there's a small window, you know, passing by where you could catch a short glimpse of the roof.
It's not a short, it's completely open,
Well,
and we talked about,
shockingly open relative to what our standards are.
and we talked about
Is this-
trees with respect to a previous application, and trees have a way of disappearing was, I believe, the word that was used.
That's exactly the view you get
Yeah.
when you drive down that street and turn around.
sure, okay. Yeah, hence the question. What might be your propensity to allow maybe some panels toward the back of the house on that roof in question?
Any panel on the back of the house.
Okay.
Well, are these deciduous trees or is that the problem? I mean, the Google picture has a lot of trees over there between the house and the water. If you look at pictures 3 and 4.
Well, it was stated earlier that trees, I believe this is a close paraphrase, if not a direct quote, have a way of disappearing.
Sure, that's understandable. Is there, again, was there any opportunity to have, you know, sort of a contingency, a contingent based approval?
See, you come in Hummock Lane and the house is like right in front of it, right?
Yeah.
And if
You certainly can't see any panels from Hummock
if
Lane.
you put a few evergreen trees there, it would block it. I mean, the only person going down it's a dead end street, you know. So there's very little traffic in this whole area.
Yeah, and the street view I'm looking at now, unfortunately, it ends at the end of Hummock, and it has to, you know, you have to turn left on the Maycomber. It doesn't let you go down to the right towards the dead end, but from Maycomber, yeah, you definitely can't see. I'm sorry, from
Hummock.
From
Hummock.
Hummock, you can't see anything.
you can't see any panels, right?
And as I say, this is a very low traffic area.
Well, I'm not comfortable with the application.
So no panels on that side of the house at all? Is my understanding. I mean, in other words, if there was, say, 2 columns all the way at the back of that side of the house, where it was, obviously a very limited opportunity to see any panels, if any.
You've got panels on the back of, I don't know if it's the garage or what, but if there is more roof line on that side facing in the same direction, you could put more there, but these are just clearly visible and it's a lot of them.
Sure, no, I understand. Yeah, that's, see, we have, we could possibly make it up and have it balance out for them. The east facing roof, if you could go back to the plan view briefly.
Well, before you move it, Grace, could you move this one up a little bit? I was just wondering if you go far enough, you'll go to my house. You're almost there. Yeah, does that move up?
No, this is just a still image.
Maximum amount. My house is right down here. And you can see mine too if you drive down the street. But they're on the side of the house. These are on the side of the house. They're not in the front of the house. And
Well, some are on the front of the house, are they not?
mine?
No, on the application.
No.
Oh,
No,
no,
they're all on the side, but
And on the
they're,
back. And
but
on
they're
the back.
completely visible. Look, that's what it looks like.
oh, that one, that is the, yes, the south.
That's the side facing the water.
Right.
And I can't get excited about them being on the side of the house when nobody lives down the street and there's only one person across the way. It really does not detract at all from the main focus of the house is the front of the house.
I thought the standard was if you can see them from the street, it was not something that we would allow.
Not really. I put solar panels on the side of my old house. It's 20 years ago now. And they're still there. There's 4 large panels, 4x8 for hot water. And you can't see them in the summer at all. And you gotta know where to look coming down North Dennis Road to see them in the winter. And it's there's so many trees, all these tall pine trees like you see in this picture.
I think I started this by saying that probably in a year's time, 3 people would be driving down to the water and driving back. Those are who would notice it, except for the guy across the street.
Yeah.
So I would be in favor of this as one that might be acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, take into account the fact that really the looks of the house, resale value in terms of curb appeal would not be affected at all. It still looks like, with shutters on it and everything, it looks like a nice Cape Cod house. And the fact that these wing walls come out just improves the matter. So
I'd love to hear from the guy across the street.
So would I.
I mean, if we could cable this and have his view the next time we do this, and he said, fine, I love it, then great, we'll do it.
Well, it's a little more problematical than that because he could sell the house, the next homeowner could hate it. So.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I know.
I'm conflicted.
from 1502 Pedal.
There is,
I am
excuse me,
requesting to be heard.
there appears to be an abutter who wants to speak.
Send us a note. She just sent a little, call those things.
a chat. Yes,
She can send a chat,
she,
whatever.
Yep,
Did
they
we-
said I'm having audio issues, but requesting to be heard.
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
She could send a text
There you
message.
go.
Okay, there you are.
okay, she needs to unmute herself.
In the lower left-hand corner of the window, you should be able to see, if you move your mouse, you should be
There you
able to
go.
Mouse down.
a
Okay.
microphone.
I
All right.
I apologize. That's the first time I've seen the unmute and so I apologize. I've been frantically trying to find it. And I know you said the left corner and there was nothing in the left corner, and then I got bounced out after a certain period of time and then I had to rejoin, but
But here you are.
I am in a butter, but I am not across the street. I am at 22. And everything that Aidan Donahue and his family have done to the house has been a great improvement for our neighborhood. And I want to commend him for that. I do have a concern, however, the picture that you had of the front of the house is from the street that brings us into our community. It's Hummock Lane. And Hummock Lane comes down and sees this house in full. And from what it was before to what it is now, it's a great improvement. My concern is not for the south side. I think it's appropriate on the south side to have solar because it wouldn't be seen from the street. And that's, I think, my concern for our community and for our neighborhood, that it's an entryway and I wouldn't mind, I just cannot fully appreciate seeing solar panels coming into our neighborhood. And so the visual from the front of the house, anything west side, facing west on the house, I would not like to see solar panels on. Anywhere else on the house, I would be fine with.
Can I ask if you're to the left of the house as you look at it or to the right?
I'm actually to the left of the house.
Okay, so you would go left off a Hummock.
Yes, and
Okay.
I actually, from my driveway, I can see their north side roof, but that's nothing that affects me at all. But coming into our neighborhood, I would not want to see solar panels on the west side roofs, which is
Right.
go north-south or south-north. And it's anything facing Hummock as you come in.
Yeah.
I just think it's a distraction from the beauty of the house anyway, but so.
Plan is to have them on that connecting roof, but on the east side. And the roof is fairly flat there. So it doesn't show above the ridge line. So the ridge, the whole roof to the west would not have anything showing. No solar panels there.
Right. So anything that you would see from the front on the garage roof and the entryway roof would not be seen, is what you're talking about now. Correct?
Correct. You wouldn't be able to see any of it from standing at the end of Hummock.
Right. Thank you. I just wanted to put my opinion in because I live here in the neighborhood.
Certainly, certainly. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, and I do applaud them. They bought the house greatly improved, but they've put a lot of work into the landscaping and just the care of the home. And they're doing a great job.
Good.
I'll unmute now.
Okay,
Oh, there I go again.
good. Okay. Good. Any other questions or comments? Are we ready to have a motion on this?
I move to approve.
I don't know.
Do we have a second?
I think you're gonna have to make it, Richard. I'm
What's
not seconding.
What did you say, Bob?
I said, I think Richard's gonna have to second. I'm not gonna second it.
Okay, I'll second it then. So Rosemary made a motion to approve,
Mhm.
and I second. So all those in favor of this solar panel application? Bob Wilkins,
Nay.
Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Paula Morrison. Nay.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Richard Gegenwath, aye. So the ayes have it. And I think when it's done, it will look fine. These are dark solar panels and the roof is kind of dark. So that helps. Okay, so Jason,
Yes, sir.
when are you going to work on this?
We'll probably get the permit application in as soon as possible. And we get it on the books probably, within a month.
Good, okay. So if, it's, you have, take a couple of weeks to make sure that no other neighbors in the area might appeal it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't start hammering anything yet until we hear from the rest of the neighbors.
Sure. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not sure what stage it's. I can have a quick peek. There's the interconnection process and everything. We have to have the agreement with the power company in place.
Yep.
But
Good.
yeah, it's not at the installation stage yet. So I can make the note though to the permit applicant.
Yeah, well, all projects actually, which is normal, because if you start something up right after we approve it.
It'll get denied anyway. No place on hold.
Right.
Gotcha.
Good. Okay. So we can move then to the next item, which is tabled item. So we'll have to take this one off table.
I'll move to untable.
A second.
All in favor of untabling this, which is also a solar panel installation. This is with Sunrun Installation Services, and the homeowner is Vincent Gardia. And so all those in favor? Paul Morrison,
Aye.
Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
myself, Richard Gegenworth, and Bob Wilkins.
Aye.
So we all agree. And now we can look at the data. This came up before. It's on 35 Avon Road. And the installer was going to go back and look at his original plan, which had some problems. They were talking 33 solar panels, a little over 10 kilowatts. And the original plan shows up very well on these two pictures of the front of the house, and the number 6 shows the back of the house and the front of the house as a layout that they were talking about. And when we showed this to the vendor last time, he said, uh-oh, I think we were only putting them on the back. And then we talked about putting them on the garage roof as well, so as to get them off the front. So is Jason, is it
No, it's Steve Kelly. I'm here.
Steve Kelly? Good, okay, we can hear you. So what did you conclude?
So my understanding is the homeowner didn't want them on the front, and because that's facing the street, we pulled them off the front of the house and they're just on the rear dormer.
So you reorganize them to get.
Correct.
So you end up pretty good. You get what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Looks like. Good.
Correct. 20 modules.
Good. That's what I had thought. When I first got this more than 2 weeks ago, I made a calculation of the area of that roof. And I thought if we reorganized them, and also you could have increased the wattage per unit. I think these were 315. And by going
Correct.
340 or 360, you could come up to about where you want it to be at around 10 kilowatts total. So are these the same ones, the 315s?
They're the same 315s. It's all about what our supply chain can provide us. And fortunately, we've been able to get the black on black panels.
Good.
We had difficulty getting those, several years ago. So we do have the black on black. And I don't believe that you can see these from the dormer.
Right.
You can't, that dormer is practically flat.
Right. Yeah.
They-
Yep. Good. Well, should work.
Unfortunately, with the remote meetings, I don't do a drive-by on all of these.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Are there any abutters present? I move to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye. Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paula Morrison,
Aye.
myself, Richard Kaganwath, aye. Thank you, Steve, for working on this and getting it to the state where we would approve it. And you'll have lots of solar energy there.
Yes, thank you. Look forward to the next one.
Great. Okay, now we had building a porch at 10 Compion Road. The homeowner was Saposnik and the agent was Ben Tizek. He can pronounce it better than I. And the discussion was concerned with the post. There was no post design proposed as of 2 weeks ago. So we were hung up there. Okay, Hannah is here.
It's Ben.
Ben, okay.
I did some work with the homeowner on the post and found a design that they are happy with. And I provided that to Grace if she has it. Yeah, so it's
Lovely.
it's a verse.
Richard, as a procedural matter, shouldn't we be untabling this application?
Yeah, we should. We'll just take a minute, Ben.
I move on table.
I'll
Second.
second.
All in favor? Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paul Morrison,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Gagenworth. And we have Rosemary Nichols.
Aye.
We all agree. Now we can talk about it. So the picture on the left is sort of a kit.
Yeah, so the picture on the left is the Versatech kit. It's crunched down in height.
Yeah.
The bottom base is 10 inches tall with a base cap on it, so it brings it up to a little under 1 foot with the cap. The flat part alone is 10 inches, and the post heights are 7.9, I think, to the beam. So it would have that and the crown along the top to finish it off, and the base cap sitting on the decking.
Very dressed up now.
It looks great.
It does.
Nice job.
Terrific. Okay, I think that was the only thing that was a problem on this, right?
Right.
Are there any abutters or someone?
Let me check. No one's raising their hand.
Oh, okay. So do we have a motion on this?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Good, thank you. All those in favor, Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
Paul Morrison,
Aye.
Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
myself, Richard Gagenworth, aye. So Ben, good work and good luck with it as you proceed. No glitches and you have good weather.
Thank you, and thank you for your input. I think it's going to make the porch look a lot nicer.
Very good, thank you.
Agreed.
You're
Good
welcome.
night.
Good night. Okay, we have one more to untable. This is an extensive one now. It started out as a little job. 97 Mayflower Terrace. Dan,
I move to untable.
I'll second.
all those in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Paul Morrison,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
myself, Richard Gagenworth, aye. So we are untabled. And this is concerned with the addition of a front porch, a rear screened-in porch, and a deck, new windows, roofing. And what doesn't show up here is an additional addition, which doesn't show in the writing, but is in the pictures. So now here is the pictures in question. This whole thing on the left side with the 3 windows doesn't exist now. And this section next to it doesn't exist either. And then there's a porch, which is different. This section is a porch in the middle with the picture window and 2 side lights. The thing on the right is existing. Then you go around to the back, and now it shows this whole wing and the screened-in porch. And of course, if you look at the side views, this sort of steps forward from the front to the back. So, see, the existing is simple. This is the existing picture. It's very simple, straightforward, just a little ranch. So this isn't going to be a simple little ranch anymore. It's all on one story, but otherwise it's changed a lot.
I thought the problem with this was, Richard, is that according to the item number, this is an entire edition and that was never mentioned.
Well, that's right, on the additional, when it was posted
Exactly.
and put out to market kind of in the newspapers. Yeah, this wasn't included. And we didn't, at the last hearing, we didn't have a complete set of diagrams either. So this was a big surprise.
When we put the application in, all this stuff was submitted with the application. Everything that you've been looking at was all submitted at the same time.
Oh, Okay, well,
It was submitted the day before the last meeting. I think the error on our part was that I put it in the day before the last meeting,
yeah,
or the day before the deadline. I
Yeah.
thought I was putting it in to get on this meeting, and I put it in a day early, which put me on the last meeting. And
yeah,
I wasn't, we weren't even aware of it until Grace made me aware when we didn't go to the meeting.
yeah, there's a big problem with this all the time, in the sense that before COVID-19, we would need to have all this stuff at least a week before the meeting.
I put this stuff in 2 months ago.
Yeah, but the thing is that, what I'm saying is that we did it that way so that people would see it advertised, and then they walk down to our office and see it there before the meeting. So these were available to the public a week before the meeting.
Yeah, correct. I didn't think I was going to be on that meeting. I always thought I was going to be on this meeting.
Yeah, let's see that, but the way it is now, nobody can really see these until they come here to the Zoom meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true, Richard. They're scanned in and made available to the public
Yeah, but not a week in advance.
when the agenda is posted.
Yeah, that's only a day in advance, like Friday.
Yeah, Thursday, so it's not long.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten it sometimes on a Friday, and there's no time for the public to see it except on Monday. And sometimes we don't even get the stuff until Monday. Then they have to be put in electronically or reduced in size, etc. So we see it as if they were 8x12s on our screen. So it'll be much nicer when COVID-19 goes away.
You're not kidding.
Most everything will.
So anyway, the only problem I had with this design now is the fact that it doesn't have any grills anywhere.
So the reason for that is the existing windows don't have any, and they're existing Anderson windows. And so we matched. We did like for like.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we did it. And we, normally don't do that, but we always do like for like.
Yeah. Yes. There's so many more windows there now than there used to be,
So the intent was just to match what was there. That's all we were doing.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have some with grills and some without.
Yep.
Are the butters to this property present?
Does the building date show up on, it's probably 1960 or something.
That's what I think too, yeah.
This is the homeowner. I think it was actually a little earlier than that. It was owned by my grandparents and then by my mother and now by me. So it's been in our family a long time, since the mid 60s, and there was an owner before that. So I have a feeling it was the mid 50s.
Yeah, I suspect it's that, that development around the pond or lake, the pond was being developed with these lots of little cottages.
Yes.
And that was a long time ago. I used to go up there in my boat starting around 1949.
My godparents, Elva and Brad Tallman, owned one of the first houses back there. So it's been around for us a long time. I love the area. It's a beautiful area, Nob Hill.
Right. Good. Okay. Any more questions, comments, people?
I'll move to approve the application.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Paul Morrison,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
and myself, Richard Gaganroth, aye. So, good luck with it all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Generation.
The big upgrade. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Mike, thanks for coming in.
Thank you guys again.
Bye now.
Let us know if you're making any changes. Okay, so that's it. Now, we did have one more thing on the agenda here, is the minutes. They were quite extensive. And I read through them all myself. So this is from the previous meeting on March 8th, and then the one from January 11th and January 25th. Is that right? Yeah.
That's right.
So any comments on them? We can do one at a time or all three.
I'd like to make a general comment. First of all, I'm impressed, Grace, with how thorough they are. Ordinarily, being a nitpicking grammarian, I would parse all of the minutes and correct grammatical errors and typos and the like, but I'm not doing that this time.
Well, Bob, and since you didn't, I did.
You did. Good for you.
I sent just a very few revisions to Grace earlier today.
Oh, good. I feel better.
Good.
But I do think the amount of detail is very impressive, Grace.
Yes.
Well, when you're sick in bed, you get a lot of time to count.
You mean we shouldn't expect it to be a habitual thing?
Maybe I'll get sick again. Who knows?
All right.
Paula, what do you think?
Relative to what?
Any comments? Do you find any?
On the minutes?
Yeah.
I have to confess to not even seeing them.
Oh.
So I never even saw that listed down there, so mea culpa.
Well, they were extensive and they were long and it took me, I'm a slow reader.
I have read others though, the prior, like the ones that were on the other pages, so and they were, as Bob says, very well done.
Good. Okay. So I think we have to approve each one separately.
You could do A through C if you wanted to.
In their entirety?
Yeah, if you made a motion to approve A through C, unless anybody else sees fit, that's appropriate to do in Robert's rules.
I move to approve A through C.
I second.
Okay. All those in favor of approving A through C? Paula Morrison.
Aye.
Rosemary Nichols.
Aye.
Bob Wilkins.
Aye.
And myself, Richard Geigenroth. Aye. Good. We have another meeting coming up. This is
Just around date.
wrong date. April.
April 12th.
Okay, good. April 12th.
April 12th, that's 3 weeks.
There's an extra week in March, so we get a little bit of a break.
Oh. Okay, then.
31 days. Good. All right. So, is there any other comments? We can,
I move to adjourn.
I second.
all those in favor of adjourning? Rosemary Nichols,
Aye.
Paul Morrison,
Aye.
Bob Wilkins,
Aye.
myself, Richard Kagan. Aye.
All right.
So we all say good night.